In the last like 11 years, I've probably taken about 16,000 sales calls, is what I did the math on, and on coaching, like selling coaching. And so on top of that too, I've written all of our ads, I've written all of our text scripts, all of our emails. Like I was the person that wrote that stuff. Why am I sharing this? Not to toot my horn. It's because I've had a lot of failures in realizing the way you say something can drastically determine the results. And everything we do in business, and you know this too, it comes down to messaging. And then that messaging at scale is what produces results long term. So especially when it comes to an information business where you are leveraging information, and basically it's information arbitrage. You don't have the information that I have of how to succeed in relationships, in life, and connection. And so you are paying for someone that has understanding and information in those things delivered towards your nuances. It's the same reason we go to a mechanic, because they have information we don't have about a car, and we don't want to go through the headache of learning it. So in this, life coach can mean so many different things to somebody. The second I hear life coach, I'm like, whoa, like, what is this really? What kind of life coaching do you do? Like, is this really apply to me? So I'd say that's the number one thing that we go, okay, can we explain that better?
Okay.
Is there a way to phrase that better, differently, where it makes sense to the audience you are speaking it to?
Okay.
And then I'm going to tell you how we can clean up to because you've already hit your network. So then I can tell you how we can clean this up afterwards. But I'm going to start with like how maybe we could have done this differently. The second thing I would say is women that are going through hard times. Is that the way you phrase it? Women that are going through difficult or hard times?
Difficult time.
Okay. Here's what I'd say. Niching down is fine. All right. Niching down is fine. If like, I know we all hear like niche down, niche down. I've even said it at times when it comes to social media, is like, find your niche, right? But I've also said with coaching in the beginning, like take anybody and everybody that you believe you can provide value to.
Okay.
So usually when I say niching, I'm saying niche down for the specific piece of content you're creating right then and there.
Okay.
The purpose, I believe, of niching in the beginning is to really create clarity for the audience you're speaking to in that moment.
Okay.
It's like if I were to try and speak to all, 20 of you here, I think it was like 15 or 20, and just give a generalized thing, it's not going to be helpful to any of you, most likely. Like there's going to be some things you can grab from it. But if I speak to you and it's like, this is the one person I'm talking to this moment, the one problem I'm solving, it's actually going to land with maybe like 5 other people in a very pointed and nuanced way. And it's going to be like, man, I had that exact question.
Right.
So the purpose is going like, I want to solve a specific problem. So it's not a bunch of noise that doesn't really apply to the nuances of my life. So that's like the potency is in nuance. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, the potency is in niching down.
Right.
But early on, you don't need to niche because you're not scaling a system. You're not like taking on 100 clients a month where you're like, I need to really niche down so that the potency of this course I made really hits this niche, because you are involved in every transaction and every service. A plumber is not saying like, I only do, water softener installations, because he does a ton of different types of problem solving. I'm a plumber. What do? I solve lots of different problems. I'm a life coach. I solve lots of different relationship, connection issues. There are some people I can't help. That's probably something we need to figure out in a conversation. But here are the things that maybe I can add value to. So when you're saying women, you're immediately removing any guy that they might have thought of that needs help. Okay. When you're saying women that are going through difficult or hard situations, there are a lot of women that won't want to identify with that because they feel pressure to carry the entire world on their shoulders, and I can't be going through something difficult. If I admit that what I'm doing right now is difficult, then I've failed. I've lost. There are people that you're like, oh man, I wanted them to get my message, but they aren't even at the point of awareness to think that what they're going through is difficult or hard. So I've removed anybody that is experiencing any level of denial around their issues of that current season. Is this making sense so far?
Yes.
Okay. So then we go, well, how do I have potency to actually reach somebody that has a big enough problem that I solve? Right. Mm-hmm. I think that's in the nuances of what you say. So, and I would make this individual to each person. So what I would do now is a follow-up, because the way I'd probably phrase this message in the beginning, I might say something like, hey, what's up? I know it's been a while since we've connected. Not sure if you heard, I've been relentlessly studying and going after emotional and mental health. I believe wholeness is the thing the church needs that's going to lead to a revival, honestly. And I have had a huge heart for this in my own life, and I've gone through extensive education to learn how to give this away. Right now, as I grow a coaching practice I just started, I'm just trying to help anybody and everybody for free. See how I'm saying this?
Yeah.
If you or anybody you know has any type of need to just be heard or navigate emotional or relational issues, I would love to be a safe place for them. Is there anybody you can think of that might need that kind of help? Now you're finishing with a question.
Yeah.
And that's an open-ended question.
Right.
And now it's sounding a lot less like, would you join my new coaching business? It's for people that really struggle, that are going through a drug addiction. That's what people think. They assume the worst thing that you just mentioned. Because it's so interesting. I've created ads saying, hey, if you're a man that's dealing with shame and self-hatred, and it's causing you to show up in relationships with a lot of walls around your heart, and you feel like you can't connect to the people around you, I get the craziest drug addicted felons that are just off the deep end of their life, because they're like, thank God that somebody said, and they have no money to spend on your services. And it's like all these things. And I'm like, that's not what I was looking for. I want to send those to, this ministry over here. That's not who I feel called to. And they can't even afford my services. And some of them need to be hospitalized, right, to be honest, or need a trauma, a trauma expert. So then I go, why did that happen? And it's because of the way that my communication landed with the people that most resonate with it.
Yeah.
So that's all those nuances are so important. So what I said is probably maybe a better way. There's 1,000 ways you can say something like that.